Hi, I'm Ben Fitzpatrick. I'm Head of Operations at WebProfits, and today we'll continue our series on Analytics Insights with 3 insights which can help to improve your branding campaigns. In my experience, marketers often really struggle with effectively leveraging analytics for brand campaigns, and instead they rely too heavily on top-level metrics like traffic and impressions. And yet the data within these campaigns provides some great opportunities to learn about who your customers are, what they're interested in, and how your brand is growing. So let's get into it. The first place we'll start is the Page Views report, where we can learn some valuable insights into what's most important or interesting to your website visitors. Here's the questions you should be asking. Beyond what pages do people go to most, what pages are they spending the most and least time on? This can give you insight into what's most important to them and what questions they have about your brand or your products. Another question to ask is if there are any pages which have a lot of views but low entrances. These are the pages that people are consistently navigating to internally and thus highly important to them once they've landed on your site. Review the exit rate on these pages to see if people are leaving in high numbers. Maybe you're not providing the information they expect. I also recommend going to the pages individually to see the experience and information you're providing. There may be some easy improvements you can make. The next area we're going to turn to for insights are affinity categories and in-market segments. These are areas where you can find insights on what the people who visit your website are most interested in and are actively purchasing. Affinity categories help to give you a picture of your website visitors' overall lifestyle. One question to ask is if you think the type of people who are visiting your site are likely to be interested in your product. For example, if you sell high-end food products and one of your top affinity categories is aspiring chefs, that's likely a strong match. But if you're a fast food company and your biggest audience is health and fitness buffs, that might be off. You can then look back at your campaigns and your creative to determine if there's a reason you're driving the wrong people to your site. You should also review if there are any affinity categories which have higher overall engagement with the website in terms of pages per session and time on site. These may be a niche segment you could run a campaign towards specifically, or you could set them up with a separate marketing campaign with some creatives focused specifically on their interests. The in-market segment section is similar but provides insights on what your visitors are actively looking to purchase. This is based on their search history and the websites they're visiting. You should be asking if your campaigns and your creative align with what's most important to these groups. And if you're running a competition, you could choose a prize from among these topic areas. Our final area for insights is around measuring your brand growth, which is particularly important to understand if you're making big investments in brand campaigns. There are 3 areas I recommend reviewing for brand growth: your branded organic search traffic, your branded paid search campaigns, and your direct traffic. You can measure your branded organic search through the Queries report, which gives you clicks and impressions for your branded keywords. Paid search campaigns are visible in your Google Ads report, while direct traffic is in your channels report. These 3 metrics give you an overview of interest in your brand online over time, as they represent people who already know your brand and are actively going to your site. When you look at this data, you should start by asking if it aligns with your campaigns or your marketing activity. Are you seeing an increase in branded and direct traffic as a result of the campaigns you've previously run? Are there any specific campaigns or activities that you can see had an oversized impact? Another question to ask is if there are any outliers in terms of high branded traffic which don't align with your campaigns. Were there media mentions or viral activity which had a big influence? And can you replicate any of that to continue to grow? You should then track this ongoing as one measure of brand growth that's easily accessible and transparent, which isn't always the case in terms of other brand measurements. That's it for today. If you have any questions about these 3 focus areas, just leave a question in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if you want to organize an analytics consulting session to get deeper into your data, you can email me directly. Thanks for watching.